Academy of Scholars. Welcome to another episode of Scholarly Speaking Live with Dr. Stacy Lambert-Johnson, the Director of Student Success at the Academy of Scholars. I am Benny Crane Jr., the Assistant Director of Student Success. Today's topic will discuss different parenting styles. Is one style better than the others?
Thank you for joining us for today's live session. No matter where you're joining us from, whether you're at work or at home, we pray that you're having a great AOS day and hope that you can visit us here on campus someday soon. So last week we finished up our summer series of topics.
Yes.
This week we're discussing different parenting styles and whether one style is better than the others. But before we get started, Benny, where can our viewers watch today's live session once it's over?
Everything from this show ends up on our website, academyofscholars.com, including both the audio and video versions. Now, if you prefer watching us each week, you can find the video version on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, LinkedIn, and Instagram. If you're looking for something entertaining to listen to on your drive to work, you can download the audio version anywhere you download your favorite podcast. Now, shout out to all those people who are joining us live today. And to those of you who follow us on our social media platforms, we appreciate you joining us. Do us a favor, tell your friends we're on. All you have to do is hit that share button right there. Comment and tell us about your parenting style. Are you one of those calm, cool, and collected parents who never raises their voices? Or are you the yelling, I don't play that, lay the smackdown type? Tell us, we want to know.
So Benny, this is a topic that I've thought a lot about since we started doing our Scholarly Speaking live segments. Now, so much of the research on how parents should handle or deal with their children regarding specific issues lean towards a specific type of parenting style. And it's not the old school style that I was raised with.
Yes, and when I think of parenting and the kind of parent that I am, I'm usually thinking about the kind of stuff that I do. I pat myself on the back, in fact, and I say to myself, you're such a good daddy, Benny Crane. You do homework with your kids. You read with them. You're attentive. You're supportive, involved. You're super dad, right? Then I just excuse myself for threatening to snatch their skin off, right? Stuff like that doesn't count, right?
Not at all.
Right. But I realize more and more the kind of parent I am, we are, what defines us as parents. Our parenting style, if you will, isn't just about what we provide for our kids.
Absolutely, Benny. So parenting style represents the standard strategies that parents use in their child rearing, which is a little different than the quality of parenting and quantity of time spent with our children.
Yeah.
And Benny, I think since it's easier to measure the good stuff that we do for our kids and the time that we spend with them, we don't often think about the construct of our mentality that influences our parental behavior.
Now, if I ask somebody what their parenting style is, I don't know anyone who would have said what you just said, right? So can you break down what parenting style is for the people out there watching?
Certainly. So parenting style is defined as a combination of parents' attitudes and behaviors toward children and the emotional climate in which the parents' behaviors are expressed.
Okay.
Now, the bottom line is your parenting style is how you parent. And it's important because how your child develops is influenced by your parenting style.
Yes.
Researchers tell us that it's important to ensure your parenting style supports healthy growth and development because the way we interact with our children and how we discipline them has a lifelong impact.
And there are different parenting styles, obviously.
Yes.
Stacy, I care about being a good parent. I want my children to have good lives and to reflect positively on their childhoods. I want to set them up for success so bad. I think I'm really obsessed with it. And a lot of our viewers out there are the same way.
Absolutely.
So understanding the different parenting styles and how they might impact our children's development can be great.
Absolutely.
So we can be mindful about the ways we parent in the future.
That's so true. Now, there are 4 basic parenting styles. The first is authoritarian parents. Now, authoritarian parents believe kids should follow the rules no matter what, okay? They are not interested in negotiating. Instead, the focus is on obedience. These parents make the rules and enforce the consequences without asking for the child's opinion. I like to call this style old school, okay? It's how most of the children in my generation were raised. Now, if your parents were the because I said so type, chances are they were authoritarian. Now, authoritarian parents may use punishments instead of discipline. So rather than teach a child how to make better choices, they're invested in making kids feel sorry for their mistakes. Now, we talked about the dangers of this in episode 35.
Yes, and if you're wondering if you're an authoritarian, consider this. When making decisions about your children, do you not take their feelings into consideration? Is your philosophy, it's my way or the highway? Do you believe kids should be seen and not heard? If any of these describe you, you might be an authoritarian parent.
Right. Now, the good news is that children who grow up with strict authoritarian parents tend to follow rules much of the time, which I imagine is the point of this parenting style.
Right.
But the bad news is that children of authoritarian parents are at a higher risk of developing self-esteem problems because their opinions aren't valued. They may also become hostile or aggressive. Also, rather than think about how to do things better in the future, they often focus on becoming good at telling lies in an effort to avoid punishment.
Stacy, hearing this about authoritarian parents reminds me of how many kids that end up in our office whose parents have authoritarian parenting styles. Parenting in this way definitely can end up backfiring.
That's true. Now, the next style of parenting sounds similar to authoritarian, but it's different. It's authoritative parenting. Authoritative parents have rules and use consequences, but they do take their child's opinion into account. They validate their child's feelings while also making it clear that the adults are in charge. They use positive discipline strategies like praise and reward systems to reinforce good behavior. Now, I'd like to think that I was more of an authoritative parent, but I think if you ask my kids, Chantel and CJ, they would say that it depended on the day. Now, my son and his wife, with my little grandbaby, are probably the poster children for this style of parenting.
Yes. Now, do you put a lot of effort into creating and maintaining a positive relationship with your child? Are you the type of parent who explains the reasons behind your rules? Do you enforce rules and give consequences, but take your child's feelings into consideration? If so, chances are you have an authoritative parenting style.
Yeah, my grandson asks a million questions, and they're so patient. My son and his wife, they answer all of his questions. I'm like, just tell him because you said so.
Because I said
right.
Authoritarian.
Now, authoritative parents invest time and energy into preventing behavior problems before they start. They also use positive discipline strategies to reinforce positive behavior, like praise and reward systems. Researchers have found kids who have authoritative parents are most likely to become responsible adults who feel comfortable expressing their opinions.
If authoritative sounds like the wheelhouse to operate as a parent, then you're right. But researchers also tell us that parents occasionally demonstrate traits from each category, including the ones Stacy will be talking about next. The key is doing the best you can to be consistent in providing high nurture and expectation for your children.
Absolutely. Now, the next parenting style is permissive parenting. And it's exactly as it sounds. Permissive parents set rules, but rarely enforce them. And they rarely step in to redirect the child's behavior unless there's a serious problem. They adopt more of a friend than a parent role and don't put much effort into discouraging poor choices or bad behavior.
Permissive parents usually take on more of a friend role than the parent role, as Stacy just said. And they often encourage their children to talk with them about their problems. But they usually don't put much effort into discouraging poor choices or bad behavior. And as a result, their children tend to make poor choices and behave badly.
So true. And kids who grow up with permissive parents are more likely to struggle academically. And here's another consequence. That is telling that permissive parents, their children are at a higher risk for health problems like obesity because permissive parents struggle to limit junk food intake. They're even more likely to have dental cavities because permissive parents often don't enforce good habits like ensuring that their child brushes their teeth.
I can see that because they don't want to tell their kids no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the fourth type of parenting style is the uninvolved parenting style. Sounds just like it is.
Yes.
Uninvolved parents tend to have little knowledge of what or how their kids are doing. And they don't give much in the way of guidance, nurturing, or attention.
And I'm just going to be honest here. This parenting style is the one that teachers and administrators worry most about. Uninvolved parents don't ask their children about school or homework. They rarely know where their children are or who they're with and don't spend much time with them.
Yes, children with uninvolved parents are likely to struggle with self-esteem issues. Unsurprisingly, they also tend to perform poorly in school, exhibit frequent behavior problems, and rank low in happiness.
Being an uninvolved parent, I think, is the winner of which parenting style not to have.
Right.
But in defense of uninvolved parents, despite their being neglectful, it's not always intentional.
That's right, Benny. Now, sometimes we're so focused on the result, we often forget about the root of the problem. So, a parent with mental health issues or substance abuse problems, for example, may not be able to care for a child's physical or emotional needs on a consistent basis. Sometimes they're simply overwhelmed with other problems like work, paying bills, and keeping food on the table. At other times, uninvolved parents lack knowledge about child development. And that's why we're here doing Scholarly Speaking Live every week. Parents, none of us fit into just one category. So don't despair if there are times or areas where you tend to be permissive and other times when you're more authoritative. It's hard to remain consistent when balancing life and parenting. So don't beat yourself up for going back and forth.
That won't help anyway.
That's right, it won't help. But it's pretty clear. Authoritative parenting is the best parenting style. And it's okay if you identify with other parenting styles more. Just remember, by dedicating and committing yourself to being the best parent that you can be, you can maintain a positive relationship with your child while still establishing your authority in a healthy manner. And over time, your child will reap the benefits of your parenting style. Well, what do you think? What parenting style do you identify with the most? Are you an authoritative parent? Or did you learn something new from today's episode? Comment and let us know your thoughts on today's topic.
And if you're looking for more information to help you with determining your parenting style, go to our website at academyofscholars.com/scholarly speaking resources. In the meantime, we suggest you check out the book You Wish Your Parents Had Read, and Your Children Will Be Glad That You Did, by Philippa Perry. This is a book for all of us. Whether you're interested in understanding how your upbringing has shaped you, looking to handle your child's feelings, or wishing to support your partner, you will find indispensable information and realistic tips in Perry's book. With its judgment-free advice, the book You Wish Your Parents Had Read can serve as an essential resource on how to have the best possible relationships with the people who matter most to you. And remember, no matter where you live in the world, you can give your child access to an exceptional Christian affordable education with the Academy of Scholars Premier Online Learning. Not only does the Academy of Scholars give your child the opportunity to engage in school at their own pace, but we also provide a comprehensive curriculum with classes like coding and computer science that will have your child excited about school each day. The Academy of Scholars Premier Online Learning is the online school you've been looking for.
I hope you enjoyed today's live session. To learn more about our amazing school, the Academy of Scholars, please go to our website at academyofscholars.com. Join us next time as we continue our live discussions. Next week, we'll be talking about pushing children to be the best that they can be.
Yes.
Until next time, I am Dr. Stacy Lambert-Johnson.
And I'm Benny Crane Jr.
Saying goodbye and be blessed.
The Academy of Scholars. Exceptional, Christian, affordable.